Hello students. In this video, our topic is going to be the lockdown changed the way birds sing in San Francisco. So first, if you don't know or if you haven't visited San Francisco, then you should know that it is a very polluted and very polluted place, okay? So there's a lot of people living there. It's very it has a lot of pollution there, okay? Okay, so let's start. Sparrows have adapted their songs to the less noisy cities of 2020. So basically, what happened because of the lockdown, because of the pandemic of coronavirus, it's been a lockdown, and the government has said they declared a lockdown. So because of the lockdown, no one is going outside, and if they're going outside, they're only going to get essentials. Okay. So because of this, the pollution and the population of the place has lowered down. Okay, so not the population, but the pollution, because less vehicles are being used, less global warming. Okay, so sparrows have adapted their songs to the less noisy cities of 2020. So San Francisco is a very noisy place, okay? But now, since everybody's quiet down and in their homes, it's not that noisy. So that's why sparrows came to San Francisco, and that's very surprising actually. But please remember that this information is provided on September 25th, 2020, and the category is Animals, Environment, News, and Science. So the date, keep it related to this date, okay? Please. Birds have very distinct calls that don't typically change, making it easy for bird watchers to recognize a species. But the tunes can actually shift over time. According to a new study, during the lockdown with less traffic and movements, bird songs have sounded different, at least in the United States. So this is a parallel, okay? This image credit goes to Wikipedia Commons. Worldwide, elective quarantine and stay-at-home orders have reduced the use of public spaces and transportation networks, especially in cities. The restriction in public movement led to rarely observed behavior in animals such as coyotes crossing the normal heavily trafficked Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco. The coyotes are basically going on the Golden Gate of Bridge, and I hope you know the Golden Gate of Bridge because that's a very famous place in the whole world. So guess what, coyotes are going there, they're taking a walk, and that's very rare seen. Okay, Elizabeth Derryberry and her team studied white-crowned sparrows in San Francisco for more than 2 decades. Comparing their songs with old recordings, they found that when traffic levels increase, the lowest frequency of sparrows sing rise so as not to be drowned by the sound of traffic. But their top frequencies remain the same. For many bird species, such altered songs are less effective at attracting females and deterring rivals. Birds sing louder in noisy environments, with studies showing the resulting stress can accelerate aging and disrupt their metabolism. Noisy environments can also prevent them from hearing their own chicks. When the pandemic lockdown started in March, Derryberry asked herself how the sparrows were responding to the quieter conditions. She couldn't travel to San Francisco, but her colleagues were there to record the birds in the city and the surrounding areas, and the findings were very surprising. So, because when the lockdown started in March, Derryberry couldn't go and travel there to San Francisco, but her colleagues and friends recorded the sounds and sent it to her by help, and that's how they helped her. So, this is the studied map of how they explored it. Okay, so Abbott's Lagoon. There's a Limantour, a Commonweal, Land's End, Lake Merced, Presidio, and Richmond. Okay, so this blue means rural. Okay, so this blue over here is rural part. Okay, and then there is a red one which means urban. Okay, so these parts are urban. Okay, urbans means like there are buildings, a lot of buildings, but not that many buildings. Okay, like towns and cities. And then land classification. So this gray is the developed part of the place, and then the green is the forest part, and the dark brown or gold color is basically the grassland and agriculture part. And then there is the blue part, which is wetland, meaning oceans, seas, and other. Okay, so you can observe that. Now here are the sound frequencies of the birds. Okay, so they have drawn and illustrated the diagrams of the bird frequencies. So here I don't study sound, but from my knowledge I think it's getting louder and the frequency is going up. This is going down, and then these are tail rates and performance limits, and then this is a HD. I think that's probably a category of sound. Okay, so people were right that birds did not sound different during the shutdown, and they filled the soundscape that we basically abandoned. Derryberry told BBC News. BBC News is a very big news broadcasting service. Basically, it's a big headquarter. And they spread news, okay, informational news. As we moved out of the soundscape, the birds moved in, and I think this tells us something about just how big an effect we have on bird songs and on communication, especially in cities. The recording showed sparrows were singing 30% softer on average than before the lockdown, but they were also singing songs with bandwidths typical of birds recorded in the 1970s. The combination of less background noise and the better signal from the bandwidth allowed males to hear each other from twice as far away as before. So since the lockdown, because of the lockdown, nobody's going outside, so there's not a lot of people outside. That means not a lot of noise. Okay, so no noise, so that's why the birds for some reason are singing way much softer, and then the other birds can hear these birds who are singing twice as better as before. Okay, the white-crowned sparrows with distinctive white and black stripes on their heads are found across much of the U.S. and Canada, where their songs have been widely studied. Different subspecies across the country sing slightly different songs, known for the sweet whistling introduction, a succession of jumbled whistles, and a trill near the end. The finding is good news from the point of view of the birds. Sue Ann Zollinger, an ornithologist at Manchester Metropolitan University, who was not involved in the work, told Science. The findings show that the species with more flexible behaviors can adapt to suit changes in their environment quite quickly. So that was it for today. I hope you liked the video. Please, if you liked the video, then please support us by subscribing. And if you like the video, just give it a thumbs up. If you want to do both, then do both. Okay, you can learn anything. Shumil out. Bye. I hope you have a good day or good night.